Welcome to another episode of the Browns podcast, hosted by myself, NFL Cleveland Browns, and co-host Matt Goldstein. Today, we are very excited to be joined by one of the most up-and-coming players the Browns have. He's probably the most improved player from the 2023 year. Lucky to be joined by Alex Wright.
Chance to get a one-on-one matchup with Alex Wright, and this guy is coming on. He really is. You think about three outstanding pass rushers. They have that on the edge with 91 now in his second year.
So, Alex, hell of a year, man. Just thank you for being with us.
No, for sure.
All right, so let's start kind of where it all began. So you come out of UAB. So you're the third round pick for Cleveland. Coming with MJ Emerson, David Bell, Jerome Ford. What were your kind of first impressions of Cleveland when you sort of came in?
I mean, it was different, but I mean, the fans were like, they greeted me with love and, what I'm saying, real genuine love, especially coming from them. So, I mean, just being in a different environment, what I'm saying, just learning how to adjust, not only with just a new environment, especially being like from the South compared to like coming up to the North. But I mean, it pretty much when everything settled down and it was like everything was kind of the same for real. So I didn't really get homesick too much, if that makes sense. But yeah. I was just, but it was just like I didn't really take it as like a big eye opener, like a culture shock. Like everything just kind of felt the same. I mean, it was different because, more people started walking up to me and it was like,
yeah,
that's right. But you know what I'm saying? So that was probably the biggest difference. Other than that, I didn't really, see a different type of side of, Cleveland. But other than that, like I was, there was nothing negative when I came to see Cleveland. It was all positive. So I was happy.
When you were in the college process, like at UAB, were there any other like edge players you kind of modeled your game after?
I try to model it after Eric Armstead. I try to model it after DeForest.
Yeah.
A little bit. It was like my bag, especially. That's when I started looking at them. When my coach told me, he was like, if you want to be able to, what's what he say? He was just like, if you want to be able to make yourself stick out, you gotta start rushing that 3-tech. And I was against it at first. Like, so and then he said, this is what you need to do. If you want to get to the league, you gotta do this. So, he started sending me tapes to Eric, he sent me tapes to the Forest. And then, outside the league, it was just like outside of my position, it was Myles, of course, it was, Josh Allen, of course, it was people that kind of fit my size a little bit, and especially like my length and quickness and stuff like that. So pretty much it was kind of like the same people in rotation, but it was like in different like it was a different like size of the ball. Like okay, the force might line up on the left side, Aaron might line up on the right side, or Josh Allen may line up on the left side, Myles will line up on the right side, stuff like that. And like what I could attract to whatever I could get from their game of football, I could just apply to myself, really. So just being able to use swim moves in college like Eric did a lot of times in the forest and stuff like that. So it kind of helped me out, for real.
Definitely. So you came in with, like, you've kind of already experienced a little bit of that turnover that it hasn't been as significant as it was in years past in Cleveland, but you've had a couple of defensive line coaches now. You've obviously had two defensive coordinators. What was that transition like from Joe Woods and kind of his schematics, what he would kind of run, to Jim Schwartz, where we saw a lot more success this past year?
I mean, it was just the fact of us being, when Jim came in, he came in with the attitude, and he was just telling us like, it's gonna be a lot more simpler than it was last year. Like you just tell on film, like last year, it was a whole lot of miscommunication, a whole lot of long words and stuff that need to be said just to figure out one little thing and stuff like that. He was like, we're gonna cut all that out, So it's like the simpler the game plan is for us, the better. We don't have to overthink and stuff like that. Like we know what we got to do, and it's that simple. Just maybe by one word. I mean, it's by one word. That's all we need to know. And it's like trying to go play ball. So I mean, the less words it took with us, and it kind of like hit on the nail a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it started to click with a lot of people in our defense, and you could definitely see that. So I mean, there's a whole lot of overthinking, and he kind of eased our brain a lot by Myles just by doing the certain terminology and stuff like that. So whatever translated from the meeting room, it translated onto the field in a very positive way.
Yeah, definitely. The defense for sure took a huge step forward this year under him. Newsome and Emerson in the secondary, and those guys, they love to play the Bengals. Is there anyone in the pass rush especially loves to play in the AFC North or just in general in the NFL?
Ooh, I like playing Cincy. I like playing Pittsburgh. I hated playing Pittsburgh for some reason last year. I didn't know why. But I mean, I kind of got a couple homeboys over there in Baltimore that I train with. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, we do a little trash in the off season a little bit when we train together, you know what I'm saying. He be over there watching me while I do position drills. I'll be watching him. But it just translates. It's all fun and games, but I used to hate going against them, but now I love going against them because it's like, they're all veterans, so it's like whatever I can help, whatever they does to kind of help me because I get to watch them a little bit more and stuff like that. So I mean, I feel like if I had to rank them, I'd probably take Cincy first. I love playing against Cincy. Then Cincy, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. I have to rank them, but that's kind of
Talk to me about that trash. I guess we could say we have a rivalry with Cincy that's been kind of furthered the last couple of years. Talk to me about that dynamic on the field when you go up against the Bengals. I know the week 18 doesn't really count because we didn't have all our guys and they obviously didn't have a lot of their guys in. But that week 1 game, a lot was made about the trash talk and everything leading up to it. What's that dynamic kind of like on the field?
I mean, with us, we like to. I mean, who might say trash talking is a part of the game? That's what makes football, football. That's what brings out the best in your opponent, in my opinion. Like, if somebody trash talk me, like, I'm gonna give you my best every play, and then on top of that, because it's more intense, like it's more intensity, it's more, and it's just the fact, we stood on what we said, So it's just like, okay, if you try to disrespect us, like, we're gonna make you pay for it physically, like so. And we're gonna make you lay down for it. So it was just the fact of, with us, we're gonna play our brand of football regardless. But if you're gonna trash talk us and, try to talk down on us, it's gonna be worse for you in the end anyway. So I mean, you might well just go ahead and get ready for it. That's what I gotta say. So I mean, it don't get no simpler than that, man. Like, and then people we see, like, people we'll see it, you know what I'm saying? And we just, all right, it need to be that same energy when I see you on Sunday. And you know what I'm saying? In between them lines, you're gonna feel it every time. So
That's what we want.
Exactly. So you could talk trash, but then again, talk it at your own risk. That's all I can say.
And I feel like that was a big thing with this year as opposed to last year. Just it looked like you guys were playing with so much more confidence and so much more swagger. And I think a lot of that comes from Jim, but a lot of that comes from you guys kind of maturing and you guys realizing, like, we have the pieces. It's not like there was a ton of roster turnover. It was, for the most part, the same guys running on the defense. And it just looked like you guys had so much more confidence.
I feel like the confidence just takes your play, like, from this kind of level to, like, all the way. So I feel like confidence plays a big factor, you know what I'm saying? Because people don't want to go out there and play, scared or play to the overthink or play, like, frantically and all that stuff like that. Like, people don't want to go out there, like, at the end of the day, it's football. You know what I'm saying? You grew up playing this for a long time, so at the end of the day, you gotta think about it like that. People think, I gotta make plays, I gotta score, I gotta make the sack, I gotta make the sack, I gotta, stuff like that. Like, if you, and my opinion, I feel like if you think like that, then you're forgetting the fact that it's just football. Just have fun. Just have fun. So when you just have fun and when you just relax, you know what I'm saying, and you make it, that's when the good plays start coming, because you so tense up about making trying to make a play, you're not gonna make one because you're so tensed up and you're thinking too much. That's why when Jim said, we're gonna make it simple. You don't want to have to already put too much on yourself and then too much with the game plan either. And now your whole world is crashing down. No, when I feel like when it's simple, that's when I don't have to worry about the plays and stuff like that. We practice it all. I already know what to do. Now, just go have fun. When you have fun, that confidence goes up. It gets higher and higher and higher and higher. So, and then you have all 11 people with the same amount of confidence on the field. You can't beat that.
Yeah, definitely. The defense was much improved this year. So fun to watch. Probably the best Cleveland Browns defense I've ever watched. Looking at that second Baltimore game, it really seemed like the team was about to turn the corner. Then you guys get the news the following week, Deshaun Watson, out for the season. You still somehow rallied, get to that, got to the playoffs at 11-6. How did you guys react to that news initially, and how did you kind of respond to the adversity and keep moving forward? Despite it?
It was heartbreaking. I can't lie. I mean, just going in there and then when you get the news, it's just like, man, so at the end of the day, it was like now is the time for us to come closer than we were before. So I mean, especially because people started to count us out when Nick went down. You know what I'm saying? So now people will definitely starting to count us down when the sun goes down. And we was already a close enough team. So it's like, okay, now we definitely got to pull together and show people just because two of our important people went down, that don't mean that the dynamic of our football team is going to change. Like, we still have a standard that we got to reach. We still have a goal that we're trying to get to by any means necessary. We don't care who's back there at quarterback. Do we care who's back at quarterback? Do we wish the Suns at quarterback? You know what I'm saying? We wish he wasn't, we wish the injury wasn't that severe. But at the end of the day, that's when that next man's up mentality has to come through. And, and that person has to buy into, we still got that standard that we need you to, you know what I'm saying? So when he went down, it was just like, it was heartbreaking at first, but then again, we still got a goal to reach, so we can't hang our heads too far. Yeah. We can't hang our heads too long either. So it's like, as soon as we did that in the Baltimore game, that just shows you right then and there, don't count us out no matter who went down. So sure.
When you see Flacco come in, I know from a fan perspective, we weren't. No one was sure he was going to play or not. It was obviously DTR's show for the start, and then he gets hurt in Denver, and one thing leads to another that has Flacco starting in LA. But when he gets signed, there's obviously no thought that he's going to play. So what was your initial kind of reaction to Flacco coming in, and at what point were you like, damn, this guy's 38, but he still got it. He still got that arm. He can play.
My thing is people don't realize he's older, but the man has experience. He know what it takes to win games. He know what it takes to win a Super Bowl. It's crazy part. The first time I seen Joe Flacco play, I want to say I was 11. They won the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
What was it 2012 when they played?
I think so. Maybe 11.
Yeah. I was around that time. I was around 11, 12. So that's the first time I seen Joe play. So knowing our rip, and then him able to get to where he was, and achieve so much, and play against great defenses and figure them out and stuff like that. And it's like I didn't have no doubt. Of course, we all know Joe is not Deshaun. Deshaun is not Joe. So, but at the end of the day, we have somebody that has won it all. We have somebody that's experienced. We have somebody that knows how to get there physically and knows what it takes, no matter what adversity he's faced. So at the end of the day, I didn't have no doubt in my mind. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, we got somebody in here that knows how to win, period. So I'm not tripping at all. That was my initial thought. And we came in, we embraced him, just like he was one of ours from the jump. And so
yeah, no, he was for sure special, and what he was able to do was definitely very admirable. Got a little bit of an awkward, question here. Just seemed like you guys were rolling and coming off of so much momentum. I just got to ask, what do you think went wrong, not just defensively, but as a whole in that playoff game against Houston?
Oh man, it was just a like I said, it was just I feel like mentally we was down there, but like we just wasn't locked in to the little things. I feel like in the playoff game, you gotta lock into the little things because if you don't, like it's not a regular season game. Like after this game, nothing is guaranteed. Like so it's just like I feel like that's what got us in trouble a lot was we just wasn't more locked in on everything that was coming our way a little bit. So I mean it was unfortunate, but then again, it's also a learning lesson too. Like that's what I was more upset because I was trying to figure out. Everybody's just in shock. Like, bro, what is going on? Like after when Joe threw the pick six and then another pick six, and it was just like me personally, I'm just like what is happening? Like, I was in the denial a little bit, but just looking back over the games, it's just like we definitely should have paid attention to what we practiced a little bit. We definitely should have paid attention to the details of what they had going on and adjusted and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm not I'm not the type of person to throw anybody under the bus. I'm a all for one for all type of guys. And I mean, and I just felt like we definitely were outplayed that Sunday. And it hurts to say that because knowing me, I'm a competitor. But I mean, that's just the ball. That's just the fact about it. So.
And I do think we had our chances. You guys gave us a shot at coming out of that half. They obviously get the ball. You guys force a 3 and out. We put a good drive together, and then shit kind of hits the fan with 2 back-to-back pick sixes. That's kind of how sports goes at points. But I do think obviously we didn't have our best. But what do you think you guys will take away moving forward here that's going to help you the next time you guys are in that position?
Man, we know what it took to get to the playoffs, and we know who we lost, and that's why I had to understand. It took me a while to understand that. Yeah, we lost to Houston and stuff like that, and I feel like people were more concerned on the fact that when we beat them before, we beat them before, so we just gonna beat them again. And it's like it doesn't work like that in the NFL. It's hard to beat a good team twice.
Yeah.
So I mean. My thing is though is just the fact of when somebody said it, it was just like you gotta think who is all in this locker room. When you look around the locker room, there's a lot of key pieces that was missing. And that's credit to AB doing what he does and stuff. Up there in the front office, he came in and brought in people. That had no idea they may have been on the team this season, or they stuff like that. It's just like y'all went to the playoffs 11-6 and people don't know the adversity that y'all had to go through in order to get to the playoffs anyway. And when I look back on it, it's just like injury after injury, and it's like season-ending injuries, and it's just like but at the end of the day, like I'm still in line, like bro, like, but still though, and it's like no, you gotta think, Alex, like. So the more I started thinking about it, it's like I'm more proud of the fact that we stuck together as a team. I'm more proud of the fact that even though we all had aspirations to get to the Super Bowl, we couldn't get there, but we still got to the playoffs. As much as this team and this organization has been through as Cleveland Browns, just to get back to the playoffs, it was a lot. Like it was just a lot to take in, and just to look forward to next year. And look forward to next year. On my mind is, okay, how can I be better than I was last year? How can I be better the next day? And I'm pretty sure everybody else has that same mindset also, and that's what makes us so closer because we have the same goal in mind. So
that's great. Yeah, that's great. That's like great to hear as a Browns fan because that's not something that we've ever like really had where a team's just so excited to be playing, so excited to be back the next year, and like we know there's going to be a lot of continuity amongst the roster. There's not going to be a ton of change, and that's definitely something that's super encouraging.
No, facts.
Yeah. Staying on the playoff topic, you got a Super Bowl prediction?
Baltimore was my pick. Baltimore was my
yeah.
At least somebody from the division had to make it, but
See, do you root for guys in the division? Because I know as fans, like this was a
We
big
don't
topic of
at
like
all.
conversation on Twitter. Like I don't want to see Lamar win it. I don't want to like when Burrow was in it. I don't want to see the Bengals win it. Like I want the other team to win. I don't want
My
anyone in the North winning before us.
my thing is, I feel like I was just that type of person. Like I don't want the Chiefs. I don't want the Chiefs in another Super Bowl, man.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But I got to this day, I got San Fran just based off the prediction of last year, not last year, but 2019.
Yeah.
Let's see, the Super Bowl 2019, and I had San Fran to win it.
Mm.
And Kansas ended up was losing, and then it came back, and it's like, bro, I can't go against San Fran again. So I know the same people on that team remember that loss from back then.
sure.
So it's just like I can't go against them boys over there in San Fran. So I got to pick San Fran.
Yeah.
What do you see on that San Fran team? Obviously, having gone up against them, and we had success against them defensively and offensively. That was a huge win. But what do you see from Purdy, from Debo, from Ayuk, from those guys that has you like, okay, these guys, it makes sense they're here and like they can go beat Mahomes?
My thing is like everybody plays a factor on that defense or offense, and then I feel like throughout the season, everybody has their ups and downs and stuff like that. But I feel like Brock Purdy, he got better and better and better throughout the year, and just having those weapons around him, when I seen Debo go down, I think he went down against Detroit. Or it was one of those
games.
He
hurt his shoulder against Detroit, but he also got hurt against us.
Yeah. And what makes it more crazy is I feel like, just because Debo went down, you still got George, you still got Brandon, you still got Christian back there, you still got, and it's just like, and then you got Trent back too. And when Trent got hurt against us, that played a factor also. Trent is still there. Trent is 100%. He's healthy, so you got somebody to protect the back end of them. So it's just like you got weapons all across the board, and then on defense, it's just even more crazy that you got them. That's another top 10 defense over there on that side. So it's just like everybody plays to one accord, and you see it almost every play, man. I feel like their defense is just like ours. To be honest, like everybody is like humming to the ball. You got ball hawks over there. You got linebackers. You got Fred and Grant. Like it don't make no sense for two linebackers to move like that. To like Fred can go get the ball like a DB and stuff like that. It just doesn't happen with certain linebackers. But you got two of them over there that lead to that defense. So I mean, it's gonna be a fun game to watch for real. For it to be honest, I'm gonna be glued to the TV. So. I just can't wait to see, both teams go at it, because both teams deserve a shot at it. So,
you think Trent was the hardest tackle you had to play against this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beast.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I could have went against him, but Larry Tunsil gave him a run for his money too, though.
Yeah. He had a great
Tunsil's
game.
A dog. Because he got hurt on that extra point, and we were sitting there together. We were like, "Oh my god, if this guy's not going to play, like this D line should
came back."
And then he came right back.
Yeah. Other than that, it was them two that really gave me the real motive of okay. It's kind of like okay, I played the best of the best, so how can I figure out how to get past the best of the best? So I mean, it's really them two, especially Larry. I can't forget about Larry.
Between us, easiest tackle to play against.
I'm not putting that out there, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not putting that out there, bro. I'm not doing it.
There you go. We'll keep that one to ourselves.
Keep it.
Right. I say if it was in person, I maybe would, but nah, I can't do it.
All good. Also, I should have asked you this before. Who are your closest boys on the team? Like the guys you hang out with, like most like outside of like the locker room and chill with.
You'll be surprised, but you probably wouldn't be surprised. I'll take the D line all together.
There you go.
Yeah.
Give us a good little 9'5" tidbit. What's that guy like? Obviously, we see him super human looking. He's a freak. He's unreal. What's he really like on the day-to-day?
my thing is people think, Myles is a freak of the dog. People tend to forget that Myles is very intellectual. Like this man reads. This man it's like stuff that I wouldn't like really do. He does and talking. You can talk to him about anything and stuff like that. And it's like, what I'm saying, he does stuff like he may get along with other people with like anime and stuff like that. I can't get in anime. I tried that. But when I say that man loves anime, it's crazy. And the man is crazy as hell in pool too. We went to his house and I played him in pool and I thought he was scrub. I ain't gonna lie. When I say, and we made jokes about it, it's like, bro, what can't you do? Like, and it's like you can tell from real, but it's just like he's just knocking them all in one time, boom, 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 boom. And I'm thinking I had a comeback. And it's like, I was a warm-up game this at third. So, we just trash talking each other a little bit. And it's like, he don't care who you are. You don't get no mercy at all. And it's like, I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's like, what can't you do? Like, I can't beat him in pool. Like, I can't beat him in shadow boxing. I can't beat him in basketball. Nah, I got to see him in basketball, though. Nah, for sure. I'm definitely
He's disgusting.
He's a
Have you seen some of those
player.
clips? Oh, man.
Yeah.
360 or windmill dunks.
I told him I was going to go out there to Dallas and go hoop with him and stuff like that. And, Myles been Myles. He like, come on. Like, so I definitely got to play him in basketball. I got to get somebody to record that. Because
is he as crazy, like, in the weight room, like, as the, like, fan would, like, expect him to be? Like what's he putting up, like numbers-wise, like, in the gym?
be personal. If you could think whatever he puts up, that man going to put up. And he's going to put it up with ease. That's what kind of threw my mind when we seen how like he kind of changed direction on Trent and he kind of like threw him off. That's not normal. That's not normal. Yeah, so when we seen that, I was just like, Myles, bro. He was just like, what? It was just like, Myles. He's like, yo, what's up? And it's like it's nothing to him. It's like I've seen Myles pump 315 like his warm-ups, and it's just like, bro, Myles is strong, but the thing is, people like I said, he's just real smart. Like he knows how to calculate stuff. He knows how to just like he's one of the smartest people I've been around. Like so, but he's a really cool dude too. You know what I'm saying? He's less outspoken than the average person that people expect him to be. But he's also one of the coolest dudes you'll ever be around too.
What do you think it is about his game that makes him so special? Because I know for us, watching from kind of our perspective, what stands out to me is like I've never seen a human's like ankles bend the way that his do when he comes across the edge. And I know one of the broadcasts, they did like a little special on that. And that just has always stuck out to me. Every time I watch Myles come off the edge, I'm always like, this guy is like the most flexible. He should not be able to move the way he does for his size.
But that goes into the work in the off season. What you want to focus on, what you need to definitely focus on. And it's just like, even when I ask him, what helped you do this, I'll use that, of course. It's very hard to, let's say, for the average human to be our size and bend the way he does. And it just goes into putting the work in on, stretching, ankle molds, and, just doing like warm-ups and stuff like that. Stuff that helps your ankle become stronger and, more flexible. That's just like the lower body. You know what I'm saying? So stuff that you want to put main emphasis on and stuff like that throughout the day and throughout the months and even going into the season, you just got to keep working at it and keep working at it and keep working at it. And that's just what I learned from Myles is just, you just got to be able to work. And when you do work, you got to take it serious and you got to stay on top of it. And, and that's when the results will start showing up. So, I mean, that's pretty much that's credit to him. He's been putting the work, especially, when I asked him about it, it's like, that's something that, I wanted to focus on because that's something I picked up off of last year. I just wanted to carry that into this season and make sure it wasn't an issue. So just being able to learn from a young guy to a vet, just like always.
Yeah.
So what are you most looking forward to heading into next season? Obviously, we get a lot of guys back, Deshaun, Chubb, Grant, guys that weren't there for the playoff game. What are you most looking forward to? And do you think, like, after getting all these guys back and, our young players, like, getting a lot of this playoff experience that was much needed. Like, do you think we can, take that big step next year and potentially go far?
I feel like we can take that big step, but as soon as we take that step into next year, last year is gone. So
For sure.
now it's like, okay, now how we got to figure out to win this game this week? How do we got to win this game this week? How do we got to win this game this week? Just kind of trying to stack up, wins on top of wins. Just take one game at a time, to be honest. But the thing is, just everybody's just coming in with the mindset of, we just got to get better. How can we be better than last week? What do we have to correct, and what can we be better at, and what suits us what suits us to our positives on both ends of the ball. So, I mean, we got people coming back, but we got people coming back knowing that last year's thing and it hurt. We could accept it, but I'm pretty sure people won't forget about it. People won't forget about, the wins and losses, but at the end of the day, we know how it feels to be in the playoffs, but we know how it feels to lose also. So it's just getting rid of that feeling and that taste out of our mouth, that we got to come back with some type of vengeance and some type of chip on our shoulder that, last year just wasn't, a fluke of this is the Cleveland Browns standard that we're trying to get in the playoffs. Like that old stuff, like we not making it to the playoffs or we out of contingency and stuff like that. I feel like once that gets out of people's heads and we buy in, we could be just as dominant as anybody in the league. So
definitely.
Something that I've kind of seen online as the season's like wrapped up and everyone's kind of analyzing the stats and whatever that may be, but something that people have been pointing out a lot is the difference between like the home splits and the away splits for the defense. Was that something kind of you guys picked up on throughout the year? And is that something you guys are like, how do you think you guys are going to change that moving forward here next year?
I mean, I feel like just being at home and plays the factor with the dog pound. I mean, and then away, we just got to bring our own energy. But I mean, I feel like we played better, just like you said, we played better at home than we did away. And it's just the fact that, we just got to find a way to even that out. Because we knew that, we knew we played better, in front of the fans, stuff like that. This, that, third. Like, that's something Coach Schwartz pointed out too. But I just feel like just us having to play our brand of football, being away from home, it's like, it's like sometimes you feel like the ref is against you a little bit. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's biased a little bit. But other than that, it's just like, we still got to play our brand of football, but we got to play it better on the road. That's just plain and simple. So,
yeah, definitely. So, do you like think for next season that Deshaun, obviously it seemed like he was gaining a ton of momentum. Like, do you personally have a ton of confidence that he's still the guy and he's kind of going to rebound and pick up kind of where he left off in the second half of that Baltimore game?
Of course, without a doubt. I mean, Deshaun is our man. Deshaun is our main man. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I got a lot of faith in Deshaun, just especially seeing him when they, when we all found out that he was hurt. Like, he was more hurt out of anybody. And what we did as a team, we embraced him. We gonna take care of we gonna take care of the season for what you need to do is get healthy. What you need to do, once you had a surgery, it's time to get to work. You know what I'm saying? So he was just as hurt as we was because he couldn't be out there. And you see that's where that competitive trait comes in to the point. I want to be out there with my guys. I want to win. I want to be able to help. So it's just like not seeing him out there. I know it kind of fueled him a little bit for the next season to come back and make some noise. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to him coming back and being better than ever. So I can't wait.
What do you see out of him that? Well, you've gotten the chance to go up against a lot of elite quarterbacks. What do you see out of Deshaun that has you even on the practice field that makes you just kind of have your jaw drop and be like, damn, this guy is sick?
It's just the way he takes control as a leader, man. It's like the way that, even if he's not out there, he's still, when he was with DTR and stuff like that, the way he was able to take care of him and make sure, he was a little bit the way he would make him more prepared for the game when he was able to play and stuff like that. So just him being that guy that, you know, he's always going to be around. He's always going to be the type of person that you could go to. He's going to be the type of person. He's not going to shy away from you, stuff like that. He's a locker room type of dude. He's a team guy. Like, it's not enough that I can't say about Deshaun. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna be that's our guy. That's my guy. Like, you know, and I can't wait to, you know, see him, you know, ball, because I know when he does ball, it's just like everybody else that comes back from an injury. You know, it's gonna be like one of those days where, you know, oh, well, what is he gonna do? How's he gonna do? Well, he's coming back from injury, and then all of a sudden, boom, he just takes off on the field. Boom. It's like seeing the same Deshaun that made plays before in the clutch. Like, the way he's been so poised and stuff like that, like, it's gonna be the same person. Like, I have no doubt in that in my mind whatsoever. Like, I feel like he's gonna be better because he has a reason to get back. He has a point to prove, because people be trying. I won't say he has a point to prove, but just hearing the noise and stuff about him, and it's just like, bro, Sean gonna be all right. That's
you could definitely, you could tell.
Sure.
We obviously don't know him, but like we were just talking about his the podcast he does with Quincy Avery, his QB coach. You could even tell just from listening to him, you could tell he feels a bit disrespected, and he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder for everyone talking kind of down on him and what's gone on in the last year or two. So I'm so excited for next year. I really think the sky is the limit for the offense, but also for you guys to continue what you guys did this year and to keep building on what was really like the top defense in football.
Number one.
No, facts.
Yeah, like, just to add on to the Deshaun thing, like, just seemed like the media was always just so biased, like, against this guy. Like, he was 5-1 as the starter and got injured after playing a perfect half against Baltimore. And to add on, like what Michael said, like, he's got something to prove. Like, he knows, he can hear what they're saying, and he's gonna come out and show everyone like he's the elite quarterback that we all know he is. And I believe that 100%.
No, we're gonna be right behind him. We gonna ride for four. Just like when Nick went down, we ride for Nick. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna ride for anybody in that building, 100%. Whoever is in front, we're gonna be right beside him. So, like y'all said, I'm just eager to see him put the pass on again. So,
100%.
That's awesome. All right, Alex. I feel like that's kind of all we got for you. Thank you so much for hopping on here. Obviously, you had
thanks so much.
6 year. Like, it was so cool to see you kind of take that jump from how you were that first year in 2022 to how you were this year, where you were like a fixture on that D line and on what was probably one of the top D lines in football. So I'm super excited to see, you know, what's coming in the next few years for you and this team.
Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all for sure.